5 seconds. Sir, I am glad to participate in the discussion on the appropriation bill before us. I support the bill which seeks our approval. In supporting the bill, I wish to make a few observations. Sir, I continue to be puzzled about the basis on which government divides appropriation between the amount voted by Parliament and charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. I have been asking this question every time whenever I speak on the budget and never got really an answer. The next point I would like to make is in regard to the continuation of the distinction between plan and non plan expenditure. This distinction is somewhat irrelevant and confusing because it does not enable us to get integrated view of the programs or the projects which are being advanced. We get lost in the distinction between the plan and non-plan funds. Therefore, in my view, is that time is well past now for us to continue with this obsolete distinction. Then I would like to refer to the report made by the Agriculture Ministry in which it has been stated that the consumption of fertilizers is declining and this year it is bound to decline further because of acute drought throughout the country. I would request the government to have further study in the matter. I thoroughly welcome the appropriation for the National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development, which will enable us to use the funds made available from other sources. I also welcome the allotments made for the agricultural schemes. Here, I would very much support the strategy adopted by the government in meeting the drought situation all over the country. Sir, a huge amount is given for the chemical and fertilizer industry. As this amount is only on revenue account, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister whether it consists only of import of fertilizers, and if that is so, I would request the Honorable Minister to explain in detail. With regard to further loan assistance to the National Textile Corporation, I would like to point out that these mills are running at a huge loss. Now, sir, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister what is the total accumulated loss of this corporation so far when this amount is being given to this corporation for meeting the losses and not for creating any capital asset or anything like that. I would say that it would be an illusory thing to call it capital advance. Now, the National Textile Corporation has more than 100 textile mills under its management. The mills were taken over because they were sick. Sir, there are two main reasons, as far as I know, for losses. The one is that the rehabilitation or the modernization program is very unscientific. The second reason is more important, and that is the corruption. The amount of corruption that is going on in the National Textile Corporation is nobody's concern. The government goes on giving money year after year without taking any steps at all for improving management. I urge that steps should be taken to overcome all these lapses. Then I would like to refer to the strike in the centrally managed universities. Due to this deadlock, higher education has been totally suspended in many places. Students are suffering and also the guardians are in a disturbed mood. I do not know why the government is not coming forward to see the functioning of the University Grants Commission immediately. So, I would ask the Education Minister to set up an inquiry into the functioning of the University Grants Commission, which is allowing these things to take place on the universities and disrupting the educational system. It is prejudiced to the interest of the people and also to the interests of the country. With regard to the development of science and technology, I would like to say that although serious efforts are being made by the government of India in this direction, in fact, the progress is not to our expectations. There are several reasons. In this connection, I wish to point out that each and every student must not be encouraged to take up the research work, but only the elected ones should be encouraged, and for that purpose, several measures have to be taken by the university or the research institutions for proper selection of research fellows. In this way, they can make a substantial contribution to meet the needs of the country. Then, I would like to stress that there must be mobility between the industries and the universities. This will give impetus to our scholars and research students. So, there will be more and more interest in research work. Sir, it seems to me that the new policy of the Government of India for the past 1 or 2 years has been to use freely foreign technology and consultancy for completing hydro projects in the country. This has caused much resentment among Indian technologists and engineering experts. They are of the highest caliber and they feel that they are being neglected. They feel that they are in a position to complete the projects abroad. I want to know from the Honorable Minister whether we lack in Indian expertise and technology and so are looking for foreign technology. It has become a practice now that for even completing the existing electric projects, you are bringing in foreign experts to expedite them. Here, I would like to point out that we are negotiating for many loans for our electric projects. I want to know from the Honorable Minister whether the new loan that he is negotiating has the approval of the Planning Commission or it does not come within the purview of the Planning Commission, and how is the government thinking in terms of repayment of the loan. Sir, finally, I would like to refer to the sugar industry in our country. The workers' condition is to be improved. The mill owners deny to the workers their legitimate right. We all know that the sugar factory owners were given the license to sell a portion of their total produce in free market. May I know whether the government intends to nationalize the sugar industry in the interest of the country? Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.